Heading into my lean journey, I had no idea what standard was or what standard work was. I had never even heard the term. So when someone told me that they wanted to create standard work and do it in an Excel Word document, I thought they were nuts. One, who's going to continue to modify it? Two, who's going to use it? How do you deploy it? You're just going to print a bunch of Word documents out and paste them all over your factory? It's not going to happen. What happens if you change the process? How are you going to make that change? Well, that's where Gemba Docs comes into play, and that is Tom's origin story. Creating stuff in Word document for his factory took forever. So he created an app internally that allowed him to create SOPs right on the shop floor using an app. Little did he know there was going to be so much demand for companies like me that says, hey, this is super useful. I want to get it in my hands and I want to put it in the hands of the people that work here. So now you can create standards quickly and easily using a phone right out of your pocket. You can do it on your computer. You can edit them on your computer. You can edit them on your phone, but they become a living document that continues to evolve as your company continues to progress. So now I'm going to show you guys where we've started with SOPs and where we've gotten to with SOPs. But I'll start at the bottom so you guys can figure out how to implement this for yourself. A great place to start with standard work is in your bathroom. We all use it, and it's a great way to teach what standards mean. When you're trying to clean a bathroom as a company without a cleaning company, you need to know that everyone's doing it the same way. So cleaning can be very different. The way that I clean could be very different from where another employee cleans. So the easiest way to do that is to introduce standard work using Gemba Docs. Right here on our wall, we have standard works that show you a 11-point step that shows you how to clean. So we're all cleaning the same every single day. You're also going to notice throughout our bathroom we have QR codes. These QR codes are linked to where we can actually go and see how to change the paper towel or change the trash or do whatever it is. But this is a great place to start when you first get going with Gemba Docs. So right after you're done doing your bathroom, it's time to roll it out in other common spaces. Right here I'm in my break room, or cafe as they call them in Europe. This is a great spot to start with standards. And as you can see behind me on this wall, we have a ton of different standards, QR codes that link to stuff, as well as our cleaning schedule and how we clean. So right here on our wall, we show all the steps needed to clean this break room, which we clean every single day. Also, time off requests. How the heck do I request PTO? Well, right here we have a Gemba Doc printed out, laminated, just so everyone can see it so that they can access this and create their paid time off request in an easy way for my accounting department to get to it. Also in the break room, you can see we have standards. So we have what this should look like, not following standards. So as this looks, you can see this microwave top goes above your food. Right here, it's showing how to put it back, how to clean it. So right over here, you can see our utensils, and we have an SOP on how to refill this thing right above it, right where it's at. So there's no questions asked. The answer's right here. You may have noticed in here, we also have some Kanban cards over here. I'm not ready to touch on that yet, but we will come back and I'll show you guys Gemba Docs Kanban cons shortly. As you can see, these are actually printed and laminated. So where do you draw the line on when you actually print them out, or when do you leave them in Gemba Docs on your phone or on your computer? Well, if the SOP isn't going to change a lot, it may be useful to go ahead and set it right here at the point of use. So now I'm at my box machine. As you can see, we also have printed SOPs right here on the equipment. This is so that we can change out our cardboard. This process doesn't really change. There's not a lot of improvements that can be made here. It's pretty straightforward. So those make great candidates for actually printing, laminating, and set them at the point of use. Other ones though, if you want them to change regularly, you don't want to do this. Otherwise you're going to spend a ton of time laminating, printing, laminating, printing, laminating, and printing every single time you want to make an improvement to your standard work. So another area that you can start using Gemba Docs quickly is low-hanging fruit like this. So right here in front of me, this is showing us how to pass jobs through, how to turn the machine on, and how to turn the machine off, how to calibrate the machine. We have 3 standard works right here that we can just pull our phone out of our pocket if we were unaware, and we can scan this, and it will show us how to turn the machine on. And this one's great because it's using a video, so we can watch a quick video on how to do this. I got you a wild card there with a video SOP. Now here's the trick with video SOPs. Keep them simple, make them step by step. If you make one long standard, it's gonna be very hard to update. But if you go step by step and use video clips, which I'll show you later on in the tour, that will make it a lot easier. So just be cautious when you're making video SOPs. Sometimes they're great, Sometimes it's better just to use pictures and make them real clear and easy to see. Also, right here on the box machine, we have QR codes. These are all linked to Gemba Docs, so I can pull my phone out and I can scan these, figure out how do I make this box, how do I reset this error, how do I do this, how do I do that. It's right at the point of use, and I can go through here step by step and look at how to do this. It takes all the struggle out, and I can tell you from having new employees, this is a complete game changer. Now this is a real level up SOP right here. We have created standard work that shows how to package all of our products. And we have over 1,000 SKUs, so this was a huge undertaking for us. However, it allows us to have this super visual screen right here with the standard work right in front of him. It shows him the box type, how to make the box, the bolt packs, how to wrap it, and it's all right here on the screen. He can just load it on here by scanning a Kanban card, and then he can go through here and create the standard work, finish this up, and get it put away. Previously, we were using an ERP system which would only tell us part numbers, and then there was a ton of tribal knowledge that Sam wouldn't have known, like what size is the box. So every time Sam wanted to make this box, he would have grabbed his tape measure, he would have measured this out, wrote it on a sticky note, walked to the box machine to create the box. Instead, we put all the information right there, and we don't have to do it ever again. This is stepping a little bit forward with Kanban cards. As you can see right here, we have a Kanban card with SOPs on the back, links to those. As you can see right here in the packaging line, what they'll do is they'll actually just go right up here, they'll select into that field, they'll grab their scanner, they will scan this, and now it's loading the SOP step by step right here on their screen, nice and easy for them to figure out how to do the work. So even in our morning meeting, we have managed to include standard work using Gemba Docs. Behind me on the wall, you will see that we have a startup option here to show them how to launch everything, which is Zoom, as well as the screen for their morning meeting slides. They'll show you how to do that. We also give them standard work by being able to scan right here. They can follow standard work to create their meeting for the next day. So it's super easy. If tomorrow is Wednesday and that's my day, I can scan that. I can follow the standard work. I can create my Monday morning or my Wednesday morning meeting template, and I can be ready for tomorrow. So now I'm in my robot department. As you can see behind me, these are all of the fixtures that we use for robot welding. And right here on the fixtures, we have SOP links with QR codes. So that means I can set this over on the machine, scan this, and I can follow it. And actually, you can take somebody who's never run a welding robot, and they can actually weld this part by just following the standard work, which is absolutely crazy. So now I'm with Jen in our accounting department. Jen, can you give us a quick snapshot of what your work looked like before we started using Gemba Docs and standard work, and then afterwards, what it looks like now?
It's been such a difference. I used to have to ask John and bother him anytime I didn't know how to do something. Now everything's available to me.
Yeah, just walk up to the board and you can scan any task.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can attest to this because I helped you with some of your early Stream Deck implementations. And I said, hey, Jen, make me an SOP and then I can just follow the SOP. And then I actually did the cash receipt report, which I would have never been able to do, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, you go from being able to have no autonomy, where you're asking, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? You feel like you're being a burden on somebody.
Yeah.
Now we get it out of people's head, onto Gemba Docs, into standard work, and now it makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
If John was on vacation, you can cover for him a lot easier.
Yeah, and I'm such a visual person. I love being able to just look at what I need to get done. Just takes the load off my brain a little bit.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Jen, so much. So now I'm with Wyatt in our packaging line. Wyatt is a new hire. He's been here for just over a month. Wyatt, can you explain how has it looked as you started here with all the standard works that we have in this area?
It makes work really easy. If I have a question, I can just look it up on Gemba Docs. If I don't necessarily know exactly what to do, look at Gemba Docs.
Now you update Gemba Docs pretty regularly as well, correct? Yeah, so you guys are catching mistakes, or you guys are making tweaks to make the package smaller or whatever it may be. So you've been doing a lot of updating, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah. You even were doing updates, actually created your own SOP on your first day.
Yeah.
So it's that easy to use, easy to deploy, and people love it. Right, Wyatt?
Right.
It's a little bit loud because we're in our fabrication area. These are our fabrication cells. As you can see, Solomon is in here grinding this bumper. Now you may say, how do you create standard work for something that has a ton of steps? This is difficult. Level 10. You have something here that could take and create 60 or 70 steps in an SOP, and that's not realistic. It's difficult, it's hard, so you really have to think about how you're doing this. We learned the hard way by allowing our guys to jump right in and create Gemba docks right away. Because of that, we lost production. So we kind of pulled it back and we kind of went at it a different way. Now in other areas I've shown you where new people can walk right in and do the work. Well, this area is a little different because we need to expect that they know how to weld. We need to expect that they understand what our basic standards are. Then we just create how to put the product together. So the detail level here is a lot less, but it's still better than anything we've had previously. So as I talked about, it's about creating an understanding of what it should look like. So right here we have our finished weld standard. This is what we want our welds to look like. Down here we have a finished grinding standard, tube weld standard, and then what our spindle sleeves need to look like when they're installed. So instead of putting this in every single SOP, we've created some baselines, but these are how we do it. Now we don't need to put it into every SOP that we're creating for fabrication. Now what we're looking at is one of our jobs. Right here, we have all the parts we need to put it together. Something that we have learned from our packaging line was how to start doing what we call water spidering. And that is collecting all these parts and making sure that the whole job is together so when it reaches fab, they don't have to go looking for all their parts. We've created an SOP for that water spider so anybody can help us set up the FIFO lane for what needs to come through our fabrication line. So now we're over in our tech center. We call this Shed Tech affectionately. And this is where we create all of our SOPs for our customers. Wait a minute, you said standard work for our customers? I did. So we had figured out a way that we could actually make all of our installation documents for our customers using Gemba docks. So our customers are actually getting a forward-facing version of Gemba docks. It has all of our logos on it and stuff. And then they can actually follow the standard work to do the installation of the product that we manufacture. So let me talk to one of my engineers about how that process looks. All right, everybody, meet Colin. Colin?
Hello.
He's one of my design engineers, and right here he's actually working on a prototype. And during this prototyping process, he's actually creating the standard work to show a customer how to install this. So Colin, what did that process look like before? Because you had created these documents before we had Gemba docks.
So we used to do it all in SolidWorks. We'd get images of like exploded views, and then now we come over here. As we're working through it, we'll be taking pictures like this is where this bracket goes, and then we'll write out as we're doing it step-by-step instructions to go along with the pictures, and then just use that instead of the SolidWorks info.
So the one thing that has really changed this for us is now when we need to make a design update or a change, it's really easy for us to get it out into the out to the customer, right? Because previously we would have something that we made in InDesign, we saved it as a PDF. Now it made it really hard to make updates to the point that sometimes we actually just avoided doing the updates.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, only like 2 of us had access to InDesign to even make the changes, so now we can all make whatever changes on whatever product.
So one of the first products that we had created a Gemba docks for was actually one of the ones that you did. And we actually had customer feedback on a Saturday, and we fixed the problem.
Yeah.
Like right then and there on the Saturday, from your phone, from home.
I was in bed.
Yeah.
I made the change. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so you're able to make the change right from your bed, and the customer gets the right information. So that's something that has been super beneficial for us, especially for our installation side for our customer. If it's not something you're using, this is a very powerful tool and technology that will unlock great things in your business, especially if you're a lean business.